Yo, yo, yo. Tuesday evening, Tuesday night. Ross and Risky, what's up, everybody, man? Tap in. Let's go. What's up, Ross?
What's good? What's going on, dog?
You on a hot streak, man. If y'all been betting with Ross on the show lately, man, y'all been doing good. Y'all been doing good this NBA playoff season. And I'm basically tapped out. I still got my finals pick, the Celtics, even though they just got their ass tore. So we'll figure it out, though, man. Got a lot to get to tonight. We're going to talk about the Knicks stunning Boston overtime to take game one. We're going to get y'all set and ready for the Wolves and the Warriors tonight. Game one, as the Golden State Warriors took down my hometown Houston Rockets in 7 games in the first round. Pretty much they they pretty much sealed the fate, I believe, of one Jalen Green. I think he is definitely going to be looking for a new home next season. That's just what I think. I don't know. I haven't heard anything. The whole city is turned on him now.
Okay, so first off, let's start on a good note tonight. So y'all, I'm over here feeling like the real truth teller, but since he wanted to bring up, you know what I'm saying, where we left off. So I'm gonna just catch y'all up to date. Not only did he pick Golden State not to make it out the play-in, he came in here and said Steph Curry was gonna hit a cliff and all this. So great way to start the show tonight. What was your thoughts on Steph Curry in that game 7?
Pedestrian.
Buddy Hield won them the game.
It was the Buddy Hield Memorial Game. Motherfucker hit like 9 threes, Ross. I mean, I'm not going to give Steph no credit for Buddy Hield hitting
like 15 threes in the fourth quarter.
Buddy Hield made 9 threes. The damage was done. Houston was done. We didn't play. We didn't have a game plan for Buddy Hield hitting 9 threes. There was no plan for Buddy, which is crazy because technically they only got really 2 shooters on the team, Buddy Hield and Steph. Everybody else, you'll live with everybody else shooting threes.
I thought we was gonna see more Kuminga, and it was actually playing Buddy. And hey, Steve Kerr, we was hard on Steve Kerr all summer. Steve Kerr's been coaching. And them as an organization to go and make that Jimmy trade. We got to go. I say this a lot, y'all, if y'all been following. Draymond was on to something. Now, I don't know how much is going to help him this series. We'll talk about that at the end of the show. But as far as for them young pups, like Draymond and Jimmy punked Jalen Green. Jalen Green mentally is not strong enough. He had, 6 games of single digits and 1 game of 38. I'm telling you, if you go for 38, you telling me you can't throw in a 15-point game, 20-point game, like straight single digits, like 3 for 8 shooting, like just
not even being aggressive. You know what I'm
saying? Pitiful. He looked defeated. I lost a lot of respect for Jalen Green. I'm not gonna lie. Just because I would rather you go down blazing than that. Kind of, okay, so that, and then over the weekend, I got to say the same thing about James Harden, though, also. Got to say the same thing. Jalen Green, you're like a younger James Harden right now. Because James Harden did the 3 for 8 in game 7 as well. So, yeah, both game 7s were good games while they were good games, and then they kind of both got out of hand.
I want to get to the Knicks with a big win, but since we're here, James Harden, he's often talked about as top 3, top 4 2-guard of all time. Personally, me, because we all know in professional sports, you really make your reputation, make your bones in the playoffs. It's one thing if you play on teams where like you really never had a chance to win a championship. Like Dominique Wilkins never really had a team around him in Atlanta to really, really compete when he was at the peak of his powers. There have been players like that to where you just never like T-Mac for a lot of his career. Never really, he had a small run, little window, but for a lot of his career, never really had a team that could compete for a chip. Iverson, right? He had that small window, made the finals, and so. But James Harden has had multiple teams where they were legitimate contenders. Me personally, I knock him down a few notches on the all-time two-guard list because of the playoff failures. It's just too many playoff failures. Like, I can't put him in front of, let's say, an old head like Clyde Drexler, when not only did Clyde Drexler win a chip, but he also made multiple finals in Portland before he even got to Houston. He'd already been to a couple finals where he was the head lead dog. Then later on in his career, linked up with his man Elijah Wan and won a chip. So me personally, I gotta take Drexler over him. I know Drexler don't got an MVP, but I'm looking at a whole body of work and I'm saying it's too many small moments for you, like to never even get to a chip. And I know the Chris Paul injury probably hurt them in Houston. I think they probably would have won that, but it's just in Houston, it was meltdown after meltdown after meltdown. Everywhere he's gone, it's just
and
meltdown.
For me, it can't be game 6 and game 7. Like, you can have 1 or 2 of those games in a series. It can't be when it's 3-3. You know what I'm saying? And we just needed you to give us 20 and you gave us, 12, or not even. Like, he was 3 for 8. He just stopped shooting. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you're James Harden. With all year we talked about how well you was playing and how the Clippers overachieved because of you. And you get down to the biggest game, and then across from you, you got a young kid like Jamal Murray who's just coming at you left and right, guns blazing. Like, yeah. So James Harden, that was disappointing. Jalen Green, that was disappointing. Steph, he's still doing Steph things. I don't see no cliff in sight. I don't know about you.
You don't think so? You don't.
No,
I mean, if you look at the last 3 games, he was in the teens, and then that 7th game again, it was the Buddy Hield Memorial game. What did he end up with? 20. I mean, he wasn't the reason that they won the game 7. No disrespect, but if you go and watch that game, Draymond came out aggressive. I think he hit his first 2 threes. Jimmy Butler was doing him, and then Buddy Hield just went full Klay Thompson game 6 versus the Thunder. It was unbelievable.
Let me give you this. Steph is averaging 24, 6, and 6, shooting 47 from the field, 39 from 3, and 89 from free throw. So almost 50, 40, 90. Averaging
whoa. Now you give me some almost talk. I'm telling you, all those are below his career averages. That's what I'm telling you. 89% from the free throw line is below his career average. 24 points a game. All that's below his average. What are you talking about?
He averaged 24 during the season.
No, I said his career. You think this was a great year averaging 20? I mean, LeBron averaged 24, and y'all told me he should retire.
It's funny you say that. So for his career, he averages 24.7.
Yeah, but you got to throw out. But you got to be fair to Steph, you got to throw out like the first
47 from the field, which is equal.
But you got to throw out like the first
2 from 3. So yeah, he has dropped a little bit from 3.
But you got to throw out like the first 3-4 years of Steph's career.
Hey,
to be fair to
Steph Curry only 2 years behind. 2-3 years younger than LeBron. What you mean?
Yeah, but his first 3-4 years of his career, it wasn't like that.
He's in LeBron's age range. They're in the same. They was in that.
I agree.
Like, Steph probably was a sophomore when Bron was a senior.
No, I agree with you. Although LeBron went to his game at Davidson, so he little broed him. You know what I'm saying? He showed up at his college game.
And little bro got the same amount of chips. And
because little bro went and got the Avenger.
Little bro got a chance to keep winning.
Little bro went and got little broed by Kevin Durant. See, that's why for me, and we're not going to stay here long, 30 seconds and I'm moving on. But that's why for me, everybody talking about it, if Steph Curry wins number 5, what do we do with him? Nothing. Wherever you have him at, that's where he stays. Because under no circumstances has anybody ever – I'm a real Kobe Bean Bryant fan. This is for the record. I'm glad we're talking about this because I was telling my homeboy I need to make this clear on the show for everybody. I might need to make a whole short of this right here. For the record on this show. we spend a lot of time, me and you, debating the Jordan LeBron thing because I think it's just fun. I like the sparring of it. I personally believe that LeBron James is the greatest all-around basketball player in the history of basketball. I don't even think that's debatable. With that being said, my favorite player of all time is Kobe Bean Bryant. So when I say that, I know, see, Kobe got love late in his career, year 17, 18, 19, when he was no longer a threat. His legacy was what it was. It was going to be 5 chips. Then people started doing the mama. I was a Kobe fan when it wasn't cool to be a Kobe fan. So I remember all the shit he was getting. You know what they used to say about Kobe? Oh, well, he got 5 rings, but he wasn't even the best player for the first 3, so he disqualified. So I'm not going to let y'all all of a sudden now throw Steph Curry into a category where he won 2 of those chips where he clearly wasn't the best player on the team. Because what I was told is that's a disqualifying thing.
Okay,
it's
so
people that don't even got Kobe in their top 10.
Take away them 2. Hold on. Take away them 2. How many more does he have?
He got 2 more and only 1 finals MVP in those 2.
So what we're saying is if he gets a 3rd without KD, we all know he was
we
clearly.
Gotta see what happened.
Hold on, the last chip they won, he was clearly the best player on the team, but he won with scraps.
Whoa, hold on, he won with 2 Hall of Famers.
Who?
Klay Thompson and Draymond. What are you talking about? Who?
Okay,
2 Hall of Famers.
The only 2 Hall of I mean, how many Hall of Famers has he played in his career? 3, 4? You want to bring up Hall of Famers?
I'm saying he played. No. The difference is LeBron didn't play. Everybody else gets to play their entire career with these Hall of Famers. LeBron is getting
Klay gone. They still in the playoffs.
Now he's gone.
Hall of Famers Golden State got now.
2. 2. I'm sorry. They got 3. Jimmy. Ooh. You don't think Jimmy Butler's gonna be in the Hall of Fame?
What's wrong with you? Stop it, Roy.
Jimmy's not. Hold on.
Jimmy might average 16 for his career.
Okay. Have you seen the Hall of? Hold on. Reggie Miller averaged like 18 for his career, and he's in the Hall of Fame. And I love Reggie.
I don't think Jimmy Butler's a Hall of Famer.
Stop, dog. How many All-Star appearances he got? 5, 6? How many he got?
6.
Okay,
6.
Reggie. I know for a fact. I think Reggie only got 5. This is what I'm telling you. So
all defensive might get him 5-time all defensive team.
Well, it's the 6 All-Stars is enough. Again, for his career, Reggie Miller.
Changing the narrative, because how we get to talk about this and we
talk about Hall of Famer. You said he averages Reggie Miller for his career 18.2. That's all I'm telling you. So he's a Hall of Famer.
LeBron James just lost with Luka Doncic
at 40 years old. like
that's 37.
Okay, he's not 40.
But could possibly
when LeBron was 37, he was winning the chip in the bubble. What do you want me to tell you?
That wasn't 3 years ago.
3.5. It was, it was the whole thing.
2020, it's 2025, my boy.
He was 36.
So Steph won 3.5 years ago. Steph got more rings after 30 than LeBron does. I mean, let's talk about it. See,
shout out to KD. What you
35. 35 and on, Steph might.
Stop. Let's get off this. Anyway.
You know what they say. You a basketball old head. See, you showed me clips of you dunking and doing all that back in the day, and I ain't never seen it with my own eyes. But I see you go in the gym and you can shoot the ball still. So you know what I'm saying? It looks like but aging and who's gonna hit the cliff. It looks like we can see Steph, shooting threes. Let's just say if he continue to have down years, like you say, these are down years. A lot of people take 39% from 3 as a down year, 47, 39, and 89 as a down year.
That shows you where the NBA is, because
LeBron James' down year. Because
this year was a down year for LeBron. You know what he's going to end up? Second team All NBA. And this was a down year for LeBron.
Numbers?
I don't know. Shit, not good enough. That's what it was. Not good enough.
He didn't.
He tore his knee. He tore his knee up, bro.
Exactly. Here we go again. This just like the last. Hey, America, I want y'all to go back and hey,
he hurt his knee.
100. I got the content. Okay. Okay, I got the content. Let me tell y'all, America. Go back and look. The last time LeBron played Steph in the finals when they got beat by KD, before he went and did his interview, he went and put a wrist cast on.
Oh, he didn't do it. The medical team did it.
This time, all of a sudden, LeBron James was playing hurt.
Did they not come out and say that he had a grade 2 MCL?
What's your favorite thing to say if you're on the court? What?
Oh, yeah, if you're on the court, play. But, like, reality is also reality.
Especially not when you...
But it happened in the game, though. I'm saying, like, if he would have gone into the game with that...
We've seen the man literally twist his ankle down to the court and still play.
Yeah, when he was 27.
About that. He's LeBron James.
When he was 27, Ross, he's a 40-year-old man now.
Sit your old behind down. Listen. How hurt could he have been if JJ played him 48 minutes?
Well, I think the coach should be fired too, so I'm the wrong person to ask. So
how hurt? So how hurt could he have been?
He wasn't gonna play nobody else. JJ was finna sub himself in the game.
You played 48 minutes on the MCL sprain. So don't
He's
tell
a warrior.
us. JJ.
He's a warrior.
Go tell JJ. Don't tell us.
You know what's crazy about JJ? I think JJ wants to be a player coach now. I think JJ thinking, man, y'all I can hit a couple threes for these motherfuckers. We could have won a chip. Y'all bullshitting out here. All right, let's go, man. Let me talk about these Knicks. Let me give the Knicks some love tonight, dog. Shout out to the Knicks. Here's the question. We're going to talk about the Knicks in game 1, but my question on the runner on the bottom is, can the Knicks win the championship? Like, forget what we're talking about. We got to go there. We got to go there, Ross, because, see, everybody gets happy with these, like, one-game victories or winning a round. The question is, can they win the chip? That's what we want to know. This team, and I think you would agree, Ross, when they put this team together, when Tibbs was putting this team together, he wasn't putting it together to win a round 1 series. They're putting this team together to win the championship. They think they got a superstar in Brunson that's a closer. They got a star, an all-star in Cat, and then they got great surrounding pieces with OG, with Bridges, with everybody else they got. Hart, shout out to Josh Hart. Are they a contender? Especially with Cleveland being banged up now. Cleveland's missing 3 players. They banged up. I didn't realize the young boy injury was that bad. He's missing out the last 3 games.
I don't like you doing this right now.
Are the Knicks content? Can they make the chip?
Can they win this series?
No. Can they? I mean, you can answer that too, but eventually we got to talk about, can they win the championship? Is Jalen Brunson a superstar or not, Ross? Do you believe?
You a hater, y'all. It's oozing out of his pores, y'all. He hating.
In the words of Deion Sanders, do you believe now? Do you believe now?
Give my boys credit for winning game 1. Don't try to twist it like that.
I think they can win the series. And I got Boston winning the chip. I'm giving them, I think it's a coin flip series now.
I think Boston's in trouble. Can the Knicks win the chip? No, they can't. They can't.
Who would you have beaten them? Let's say they get past. Let's say they get past Boston.
I think the Knicks are the ultimate thorn, where like you know, let's say Boston right now would, and I called it out when I went to that Magic game and I saw it up and close and personal. The game we beat Boston. You remember I told you, Jason Tatum. He's soft. I seen it with my own eyes. He always gonna settle for that step back. Like they don't play good basketball. They just hit shots. Like they got enough spacing to where they cause you to always, they always gonna get a good quality open 3 just because they got enough floor space and you got to guard everybody. But when you really look at it, like for so many years, we've seen that not be winning basketball. Like you can't get a lead and just keep shooting threes after threes. It was one time where Jason Tatum shot like 6 threes in a row. You know, and it's like what, like how many can you miss before for real though? We talked about it at the gym, and we don't play with NBA players, but how many do you miss before you say, all right, I'm gonna go?
Let me go
try to get like so. Yeah, I think just style of play wise, and just like the aura that New York brings, and like who their identity as a team it's just a bad matchup for Boston. I think Boston feels soft when you take away, because Drew Holiday, I don't know if he's 100%. Drew Holiday missed some time,
like he is.
And then it's still something with Jaylen Brown and Tatum to me. It still seemed like something. I don't know. I don't know, man. It just don't seem like they both have good games. Like, you know what I'm saying?
The same game you're saying, like one of them.
Like,
okay, I got you.
You don't really see them combine for 65 points as a duo. You know, it'd be like Jason Tatum went for 29, Jaylen Brown had 17. And then
I think Brown is gone this summer on the side note. I don't think Brown is still there. Because they already talked about like the team is gonna get broken up no matter what this offseason. Because like I think they said to keep them, like their salary cap would be crazy. So the team will get broken up. I think it's Jaylen Brown is gonna be the one to go.
So like with that, like I think the Knicks have a real chance just at being that team that like, okay, Boston just don't have to fight to really get in the mud with them. But can they win the chip? Nah, I don't. Just with as short of a rotation that they play, depending on Jalen Brunson, I mean, it's amazing to see, but it's like, sooner or later it's gonna run out.
Here's what my only retort would be: if they somehow get through this series, that puts them technically, now they're in the conference finals, you're in the Final Four now.
And if they get through this series, they really don't have enough size for Cleveland. I don't think so.
But Cleveland's just so banged up. I don't know. Darius Garland is still. I didn't think it was that big of an injury, but I got to reevaluate. What is he? What's the timetable? Yeah, what's the timetable on him? Hunter's hurt. The other big is hurt. He won Defensive Player of the Year. It's like, the fact that Indiana, did they end up losing it tonight? Did they lose?
So
it's a 3-point game.
Mm-hmm. But see, Donovan went for 50 tonight. This was best case scenario for Cleveland.
Who went for 50?
Donovan.
I mean, he had to. Shout out to him. And shout out to Strus, man. Wasn't he with the Heat? Wasn't he with y'all down there in Miami?
Yeah,
Strus was a player. Like, he was always a good shooter, always played hard. Like just
he was winning that finals run with Jimmy.
Yeah, he's the type, like guys like Strus are guys that I consider just professional, just a professional basketball player. Like, he's the type of guy that walks into a gym on like a random Saturday and doesn't miss a shot for like 2 hours. And you like, you can't fuck with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, Strus, he not going to like impress you with his 2K ratings and none of that shit, but he walks into like your local pro-am and just destroys everybody. You like,
and he look a little unathletic, got a little, little baby fat out there.
But you all of a sudden you look up, you like, this motherfucker like 6'6". He can shoot this bitch. He dunking when he gets to the rim. It's like, we can't call it. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't call this motherfucker. Like, those are the guys that I tell people, like, those are professional athletes, fam. Like, that's a professional athlete, right? I like
Jared Allen. I'm looking Jared Allen with 22 and 12, 7 and 9 from the field, and he knocked down all his free throws.
3 block shots. So
8 for 8 from the free throw line is impressive.
And when you see a big with 3 block shots, that means he probably changed another 4 to 5 shots. That's the thing about, and that's why, like, just to say this and to go to Rudy Gobert for a second, this is why bigs typically win Defensive Player of the Year, because they're blocking. Like, if you get 2 or 3 block shots, like he just got 3 block shots, you know for a fact that he changed another, like I say, at least 4 to 5 shots at the rim that he changed. Got to do to pump fake. You know what I mean? So, shout out, but shout out to Jerry, and he a UT guy, so shout out to him. He a Longhorn. Shout out to him. But I really thought that for Indiana to take a stranglehold on this series, I thought Indiana would. Oh, Indiana's up right now. Oh, did Indiana win? Indiana won.
Hold on. I'm like 7 seconds behind.
Hold on, I'm sure.
Hold on, I'm 7 seconds. Hold on. Oh, Halliburton.
He scored?
Halliburton, bro. They was down 3. Oh, it was down 3. He made one. He missed the second free throw. The man got the ball, dribbled back to the 3-point line, hit a step back for 3 to go up 1.
Halliburton told y'all ain't gonna call him overrated.
And Donovan silenced the crowd when they was calling him overrated earlier. It's a clip going viral right now where the crowd, Donovan pulled some pop shit, and the crowd was chanting overrated when he was at the free throw line. Donovan told them all chill. You know, it's good sportsmanship.
I don't know if I like that.
But that's what I was gonna say. That might have come back to bite him.
Yeah, I don't know if
let
I
the
like
crowd
that.
get in that boy's head, man.
Yeah, let our crowd do what they do, right? Because like if he's saying, "Oh, well, that's gonna motivate him even more." Well, hey, so y'all wasn't gonna play defense? Like, what we doing? Like, I ain't scared of this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out. I tell you what, though, Halliburton's on a mission right now. I thought he had. We talked about Halliburton, and I thought he had a up and down season. He came through to close out the first round.
Hey, so look. Okay, I just want everybody to see. We ain't got to show it on here. Everybody on Ja Morant for his celebration. First thing Halliburton does is the big nut celebration. Is grabbing his crotch, holding his nut.
I would find him because it's a band celebration. So I would find him. I'd find him.
I'd rather him do something from Call of Duty and
stop, Ross. No, that's a violent celebration. He just telling y'all he got big nuts, and that's a big nuts play to take a 3 right there. That's a big nuts play
for sure.
That's the ghost of Reggie Miller coming into his body right there. That's damn. Okay, I thought they needed to win that game. Cleveland's in real trouble now. Cleveland's in trouble
because it actually worked opposite. Because I thought with Cleveland winning that game, with everybody being out and Donovan going for 48, that would have been a backbreaker for Indiana. Like you were healthy, you let them come in, beat you, lesser than with a couple guys out. That would have been a backbreaker. Instead, that just changed our whole argument. Can the Knicks win the championship is the question.
Because now you might be having to play against Indiana.
If Cleveland loses, I think the Knicks can beat Indiana.
Hold on, though. Let me say this. We might have to start rethinking Indiana because this will be potentially back-to-back years in the Eastern Conference Finals. They were Conference Finals last year.
And that'll really solidify your boy. That'll really solidify your boy.
Halliburton didn't even have a good game. 19 points, 4 assists. I mean, he was 7 for, he wasn't playing bad. 7 for 11 from the field, 2 for 2 from 3-point line. He did have 9 rebounds, but it wasn't like he was going crazy. He only had 19 points, even with the heroics at the end. How about Nembhard? Nembhard had 8 turnovers. Jesus Christ, what was he doing?
I'm good.
8 turnovers is Jesus. He's a point guard, ain't he? He's a point guard, 2 guard.
And he's like a good, protect the ball.
8 turnovers is insane. I didn't get a chance to watch the game, so I don't know what the turnovers were, but 8 turnovers is insane. He had 8 turnovers and 5 fouls, 13 points on 13 shots. He had a horrible game.
13 assists.
And one of the weirdest lines I've ever seen in my life. So let me go back to Nembhard's line. 5 of 13 from the field, 0 for 4 from the 3-point line, 7 rebounds, 13 assists, 2 steals, 8 turnovers, and 5 fouls. That's the wildest line I've seen in a long time from a guard.
Hey, but see, that's what I'm saying. At least he kept playing. That right there tell you he was effing up, but he kept playing.
God, Carlisle got way more faith in him than I do. Cause shit.
Well, Nembhard been playing big for them though in the playoffs.
Yeah, I hear you. I'd have been like, TJ, come get this motherfucker. But I'm looking. McConnell didn't play well either though.
Mathurin with a good 19 off the bench. Mathurin gave 19 off the bench.
McConnell played bad. Usually McConnell plays well. He was a minus 15 in the game. Jesus.
Mm-hmm. Siakam even had a pedestrian game, only 12. That's a good win by them. That was a great win.
I think a sweep is on the table.
Whew.
I think a sweep is on the table.
Whew. But yeah, so
okay, look, from here on out, it's world's Pacers.
Girl did say that.
These are world's Pacers now. I want you to hold that now when they get swept next round.
What's so crazy is, hold on, let me tell you how my boy World is on his last leg. He been a Laker fan for the longest time I know, but they got Luka and that threw him off. So you don't vote to the Lakers no more. He biggest KD fan. Phoenix was supposed to be in the Western Conference Finals this year. They ain't even make the playoffs.
Ain't make the play-in.
And now Halliburton is his home. But so World almost struck out. You know what I'm saying?
That's cold-blooded. All right, let's go back to my Knicks, though, man. These are my Knicks now. I'm adopting the Knicks.
Hold on. We need my boy Knicks fan to hop in here. Where my boy Knicks?
Yeah, I gotta put an APB out for Knicks
fan. We gotta get my boy back in here. Hold on. So now everybody go back and look at some of the clips. He been dissing the Knicks all year.
Nah, man. My cousin played for the Knicks. I'm a Knicks fan.
What won you over there though? Which part turned you to a fan?
I don't like the Knicks. I don't like their fan base. Like the Knicks squad, I like. The Knicks fan base is annoying as hell. Because you got like Stephen A today going crazy. Like, relax a little bit. Right? Like they do they get too excited too quick. They gotta relax. But I like the Knicks. I like the Villanova boys. Pause.
Hey, I love that though. I love that whole the way that worked out. That's them boys. Hey, we got a chip in college. You know, let's try to get one in the league. Like, I love the whole concept of that. I'm happy DiVincenzo's on Minnesota, but I wish they would have been able to really work that out. But yeah, I don't know what the way Thibs play him though. Even like last night, Bridges played 50-some minutes. Like Tibbs, he played every game like how we criticize JJ.
Think about this though. Think about this. This just popped into my brain. Think about that Toronto team that won the chip though, and the pieces that they had. So, right, they had Kawhi, who in these playoffs was solid. He had some really good games, but he was really good though. Kawhi, when he was really good. So they had Kawhi. They had OG, right? Was on those paces. Motherfucker had 29 last night, right? OG did, and that ain't even his game.
He outplayed Tatum to me.
Right, that ain't even his game, but he had 29. They had Pascal Siakam, who was an all-star this year and who's been balling, right? They also had Van Fleet, who really got the Rockets to Game 7 with two big game 5 and a big game. Like, you go back and look at that team that what's my dude named? The GM up there. They wouldn't even let him get on the floor.
Masai.
Yeah, Masai Ujiri.
Yeah.
They like, he put together a really good team over there that won the chip.
You saying all them pieces are going and kind of, you know,
look what they doing. Like, if you look at what they doing, like, those are really good. Like, Siakam's on a team that could potentially make the conference finals. OG's on a team that could potentially make the conference finals. Van Fleet, had he had any help from his backcourt mate, they could have advanced to the second round. And Kawhi Leonard, had he had any help from James Harden, it was a really, really, and didn't they have Marc Gasol on that team in Toronto?
Yeah.
They had Marc Gasol, and they had my man from OKC that was dating Kerry Hilson.
Serge
Ibaka. That was a really, really good team they had over there, bro. In Toronto. And I I think they're on the verge of putting something back together again. I like the pairing of they just
Scotty
got my
Barnes with
Scotty
RJ
Barnes
Ingram.
with Ingram. I like that pairing. I think they put some pieces around that. I would like. Do they still got Boucher?
Mm-hmm.
I would like for them to just like let you know my theory, Ross. With I think every team needs one of those guys. That's my theory. I think moving forward, you need a Chet Holmgren, a Boucher, a Porzingis. I think every team gonna need that because my prediction is if that young man stays healthy, I think Wemby's gonna be a goddamn problem, and you're gonna need somebody that can stay in somebody that big for him, bro. Pause.
For sure.
They got a new coach now. We got to get into that too before we leave here tonight too. About the pop thing. And what's going on in San Antonio. But what do you think about Brunson? I like Nick Wright's one of my favorite people on TV. Pause. But he has what he calls club superstar. Right? I think he says only 12 spots in club superstar. I love that concept. This ain't just open admission. We got 12 slots, right? And Jalen Brunson he had in club superstar. Do you consider? Because I like the distinction between you got good players, you got all-stars, then you got superstars. I think there is a difference between an all-star and a superstar, right?
Mm-hmm.
In this NBA, we're not talking about comparing them to other. Just right now and today, 2025. Jalen Brunson, is he a superstar? That means he's one of the 12 best players in the NBA. Let's think about it. So who we got?
I think New York makes him a superstar. I think market has something to do with it also.
That's a good point. So, but let's talk through it though. Who would you have your top 12? Give me your top 12 right now. Your top 12. No order, just like your top 12 you would put. Joker, Giannis, right?
Joker, Giannis. Ant, Tatum,
SGA. That's 5.
Luka,
6. Yeah, we talking superstars. See, it get fishy now. Kawhi? Is Kawhi a superstar? KD. Okay.
Ron, Steph.
That's 9. We can't really count big fella in Philly because he's always hurt.
I'm gonna go Brunson.
Yeah, right. Like when you start like really talking, like he gotta be in there, right?
Mm-hmm. Just because what we know, like he show up when the lights.
Can I give you one more submission? Maybe you might put him over Brunson. I don't know. But this year, how about Donovan Mitchell? But see, that's the market thing, though. I think with Donovan Mitchell,
Donovan was on the Knicks. And they were the number 1 seed like Cleveland was. Oh, he'd been the best thing since sliced bread.
So what markets has Donovan Mitchell been in? He was in what, Utah?
And then not Cleveland, 2 blue collar.
Yeah. So he's not
quite like MVP level. So he don't get the national media attention. You know what I'm saying? Like he's put up some great seasons. We've seen him in the playoffs. Even I told you tonight, I said Donovan gonna have to have one of them 50-point games. I mean, we've seen him do it multiple times.
Yeah,
it's just the market. So yeah, I would say Brunson's right there. Like he right. Some
10, 11, you would have him like 10, 11, 12, somewhere around the bottom of the list.
Like I'm taking him over some of the guys that we thought were gonna be super. Like I'm sure 3 years ago we thought Devin Booker would be in that category.
Oh, hold on. So you don't got Anthony Davis in club superstar for you.
He would be
AD
right.
And Kyrie. What are we doing with AD and Kyrie? They both of them out?
Both of them would be 11, 12 to me. I don't think either one of them at this point of their career could be like the driving force like Brunson is. But I would take each one of them individually, probably, over Brunson. But if if you're an owner of a team, you gotta look at it. Neither one of them could carry the load that Brunson carry right now.
Right.
Like we look at what Tibbs is doing.
Pause that, by the way. That's crazy.
Pause.
That's crazy.
But we look at what Tibbs is doing. Tibbs is like, I don't even know if they draw up plays. It's spread out, give Brunson the ball. If he need a pick, come set him a pick. And then on defense, go guard somebody. Like Tibbs might do the least amount of coaching in the NBA.
You know what's interesting? And I'm glad I didn't apologize to Karl Anthony Towns a couple of weeks ago because he had a double, but it was 14 and 13 on 13 shots. So I'm glad I didn't apologize to him. But if you look at the minutes, as you said, Bridges played 51, OG played 46. Now, this was an overtime game, to be fair to Tibbs. This was an overtime game. So Bridges 51, OG 46, Brunson 44, Josh Hart 45. Towns 31. And some of them say, okay, well, he had foul trouble. Well, Brunson he had 5 fouls, but Brunson had 4, Josh Hart had 4. I mean, he had to play Robinson 21 minutes, and he also had to play who was this? He played 19 minutes. He played McBride 19 minutes off the bench. Who the fuck is McBride? Who he play for?
And then Robinson, it was one in possession. I think it was at the end of regulation. He got the switch on Tatum. Like Robinson played perfect defense and didn't foul. Like Robinson came in and gave you some quality. Okay. Cat has been very underwhelming. Very underwhelming.
Yeah. He had a couple big games, and then he just went back to Cat.
Well, I'm looking. So in the playoffs, he's averaging 18.9, 10 rebounds. But what shooting percentages is what? That's the problem with Cat. He always gonna shoot such a good clip. So he's averaging 18 and 10, and he's shooting 48 from the field, 46 from 3. Why not take your 18?
I know.
Yeah. Why not shoot the ball 8 to 10 more times a game? Like it for him, it's just he get lost out there. He gets.
Can I give you a guy that I don't know why he doesn't play for Tibbs? Because he seems like a Tibbs guy. Why doesn't Shamit get in the game?
Yeah, I think the league's kind of on their way to being done with him.
But I think he's a prototype Tibbs guy. He's a blue collar guy. He can make open shots. He's gonna play hard. He's a little bit undersized for like being your 2, but he makes up for it with just like effort. Like he has some really good playoff performances, some really good years in both Boston and I think with the Clippers as well. Like
I'm looking at him, he's a career 40-point 3-point shooter. Yeah, and like his last 10 with the Knicks games that he actually played, he's averaging 12 points, shooting almost 50 from 3. So he can definitely come and help.
Yeah, it's not like he don't play. He's a willing defender. Like he plays defense. It's like, but to your point though, Tibbs is a guy. He goes with his guys. That's it. Because like me personally, and this is no disrespect, I would play Shamit before I play Payne. I've never been a big Cam. I don't like guy. I'm not a big campaign guy. You know what I'm saying?
I don't even like the way it looks. I hate that ugly left hand, crazy, out of control, ain't going nowhere.
I'm not a big campaign guy. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? He from Murray State. He came up from a small school. I got a lot of respect for what he was able to accomplish. But I'm just, I would go Shamit over Payne personally. Me.
I think that'll be the downfall to the Knicks. But I love what they're doing. But to answer the question, and unless they just find a bench from somewhere.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though, Ross. They got a bench, though. Look, Precious can play off the bench, but he only had 5 minutes. But he can give you quality minutes off the bench.
Yeah, Precious
Achua. We know Mitchell Robinson can play off the bench. They got Shamit off the bench, who they just don't give no minutes to. Who else they got off the bench? They got Tucker. I mean, Tucker will give you could play Tucker in some spot minutes. I think you can't play him a long time, but you can play him at the end of quarters. You can put him in
like 3 different teams this year.
I know, but I'm just saying, he's gonna PJ is a guy who knows what he does. He's gonna play defense and shoot corner threes. You know what he's gonna do. He knows what he's gonna do. So, I'm just saying. I think at this point, I'm agreeing with you from this perspective that Boston. So I'm looking at that. So they got 0 points. So did Porzingis get hurt?
Yeah, so Porzingis, they
They said
said
he's probable for win. They say he's got an illness.
he had an illness and he left the game, so it must have been something serious. He's
So
super weak.
that was big for them. So Horford had to come in and play 34 minutes, and at this point in Horford's career, that's just not sustainable. I probably would have went small personally, and I would have let Pritchard play more.
See, but that was a problem. They was having a problem with Pritchard on the court.
But Pritchard was
Brunson was picking Pritchard out.
I mean, but I'm looking at the plus minus, and I know that don't tell the whole story. But Pritchard is one of the only people. He's one of 2 people on the team who had a positive plus minus.
Mm-hmm. But
I mean, it was only +1, but everybody else is minus.
But from what I saw, Brunson was struggling with Holiday on him. But every time Pritchard, he could pick out Pritchard.
I mean, so what I was saying is, instead of playing Horford all those minutes, let's put Pritchard in for Horford, and let's play Horford, Brown, Holiday, White, and Tatum. Let's just go small is what I'm saying. Because Cat, listen, are they gonna throw it in the Cat? I don't know. Because like you just said, it ain't like they got a lot of sets where they just throw it into him. So let's just go with that, because I'm just giving some different lineups. But the problem is, to your point that you made a lot earlier in the show, they were up 20 points in this game. Boston was, and they kept shooting threes, and then they started missing. They went 15 from 60 for 3, missing 45 3-point shots for the game, shooting 25% for the game. Meanwhile, New York was 17 of 31 from 3 at 55% for the game. I mean, you just can't shoot. I mean, I know that's the coach's philosophy. He just said he wants to shoot a bunch of threes. But when you're up 20, like you said earlier, at some point you got to say, hey, we didn't miss a couple. Let's get to the cup. We didn't miss a couple. Let's post up Brown. We didn't miss a couple. Let's post up Tatum. Like, let's try to get something inside. Let's just try to get an easy bucket. Let's try to get a layup.
But this is why it's inexcusable, though, Roy, because y'all got over the hump last year. Like, y'all have the championship DNA. When does it kick in for a guy like Tatum? I know last night it looked like Jaylen Brown. He kind of tweaked his it was like his ankle or his knee or whatever it was. So, but for Tatum, like, if you got a 20-point lead, you at home, and like y'all starting to let go of the rope and let them come back.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't need to see you shoot step backs over Jalen Brunson, bro. And this is the same thing and in the finals. This the same thing that happened in the Eastern Conference Finals. Why Jaylen Brown ended up with the MVP and the Finals MVP? Because it's like Jason Tatum. When is this Mamba mentality? Like, you talked about it. You said he take every sound bite. Okay, well, go and listen to a KG interview and come out and show us like. Stop imitating these guys and really embody what you're hearing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just unexcusable because we know they got the makeup. They've been through it enough times. Like, them first couple years when they was losing to Jimmy Butler and the Heat, and they would go on them long stretches where they would miss a bunch of threes. I get it. 4 years later now, you can't still be missing 45 threes in an NBA game.
Right.
And like I was changing my mind on Tatum before I went to that Magic game and saw it with my own eyes and saw him cry to the ref the whole game and see how he mentally checked out. I was gonna come in here and say, like, Tatum and Ant, the two best American players we got right now, like the next two faces of the league. But it's like Jason Tatum, you coming up short, dog. Like
Tatum had 23 points on 23 shots. He was 4 for 15 from 3.
And he's like 1 for 9 in the fourth quarter.
Jaylen Brown from 3 was 1 for 10. Derek White from 3 was 5 for 16. Like, these are like crazy numbers. I'm saying right now.
Why is Derek White shooting 16 threes? Like, okay. This one of those conversations we gotta have. Bro, I understand you shoot 40%, whatever. 16 threes, and you're not even the guy over there.
Yeah, that's crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you.
You the fourth option. You the fourth option.
That's a fact. Yeah, 16 threes is crazy. And you know what's crazy though? You made this point earlier. Because of their spacing, they're going to get open shots. So his retort is going to be, I'm open.
I make those. I shoot 40%. But remember we talked about it.
That 40% can be
2 for 8 and 4 for 16. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different.
You know, we got to start, because of how people shoot the 3 now. This is my new theory, Ross. We got to start looking at 3-pointers like baseball players look at batting averages, right? So in baseball, right, if you hit in the 300s, you're an all-star. You're like one of the best batters of all time. If you're hitting in the 300s, that's 30. That's in the, that's 1 out of 3. I mean, I'm sorry, 3 out of 10, right? That's how we kind of start looking at this shit, right? For these, because everybody's just shooting 3s now. And so the best players are going to shoot 40%. Everybody else is going to be down in the 30s. That's just the reality of it. And if it's going to be a 3-point contest, and let me say this before I get to the 3-point contest thing, people got to stop telling me how good everybody is with their individual bag work in this generation. And I say that, Ross, because at the end of games, when games are on the line and guys go one-on-one, none of these motherfuckers make shots. Yeah, I don't see none of this bag work that I be seeing. All this dribble, step back, do this, da. I don't see none of that. I see a bunch of this wild step back. Everybody does the exact same move. It's going to be a dribble into a step back jumper every single time. Like, where is all this creativity? Where is this bag work? I don't see this bag work from this generation that everybody keeps talking about.
You know how you know they really don't have it, because when you see it, it jumps out at you. When we saw Ant do the up and under and then the extra step and shoot off the wrong foot,
yeah,
it was everywhere. Now you see Kyrie and Phil Handy breaking it down,
yeah,
because he's actually one of those young guys who work on this game.
Yeah.
We done seen a million different dudes try to imitate James Harden doing this double step back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you say, we see it get blocked more times than we see guys make it.
At the end of games.
That's so predictable.
Yeah.
If I can guess your step back and get a piece on it, that tell me there was no reason for you to make a step back.
Yeah, it was no need.
We see it get blocked more than we see dudes make it.
Yep.
The reason why James Harden's step back works is because he goes to the rack and forces you to be ready. He gives you a bump so many times that now you're going to jump back and, okay, now I can step back. Boom. He added that to his game. These other kids, they start off the game shooting the step backs. You ain't went by nobody yet to make it work.
That's a fact. And I see these guys in the gym, they're and again, everybody's supposed to have all this bag work now, But yet, I saw it in the NCAA tournament. Everybody's supposed to have all this bag work. End of the game, motherfuckers is getting up in the air, throwing the ball down, all types of what. Like, where's all this bag work that everybody told me about? Like, all this, everybody supposed to have a bag. F a
Your
bag.
guard from Houston. Your guard from Houston.
Yeah, everybody supposed to have forget all these bags, right? That's why I mess with Giannis. They told me, hey, man, they tried to clown Giannis a couple years. Hey, Giannis ain't got no bag. He don't got no bag, but somehow he averages 30, 15, and 7. So whatever y'all want to do with that, you know what I'm saying? I'll take that.
Look at Joker last night. We got to go to that one. Let's
Yes,
get
sir.
to that game.
Yes, sir.
Man, that might be the favorite. I'm telling you now, that team, and I love Minnesota. I love Ant. Man, Denver ain't playing with people. Denver ain't playing right now. Aaron Gordon is hooping. Russ hooping. Jamal Murray done woke up. Like Michael Porter, you can play if you want to. Whatever you give us is icing on the cake.
Hey, hold on right now. Let me give you some props before you go. Your boy Steph Curry going off right now. The Warriors are up 30-20. Steph got 13 right now. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just seen it. He just hit a nasty one.
And I got the Timberwolves winning by double digits. But go ahead.
I got Minnesota in this game too, but I want Steph to go crazy. He limping too. He doing something. Oh. But okay, so yeah, man. I think Denver is putting the league on notice. As long as we got this Joker right here, 44-22, and I mean Roy. I'm talking. If you go back and you watch them buckets, it's all old man, slow, take your time, nothing amazing. Like he's just Mr. Get It Done. He's like shooting like 40-something from 3 right now. He going crazy, bro. And then Aaron Gordon, we talked about it. Aaron Gordon being that third option.
Aaron Gordon is insane.
We talked about Austin Reeves all year, where he falls best third option. Forget that. Aaron Gordon might be the best third option. He can guard whoever. I mean, we've seen him guard LeBron. We've seen him guard Kawhi Leonard. He can guard whoever. The man is hitting his threes now. He's probably one of the. We saw him dunk on Drew yesterday too. Probably one of the best finishers, lob threats. Like
shit, he won a game. He won a game with a dunk,
and then pulled up for the 3. At the end of the game, they only needed it 2. That Joker pulled up from 3, cold-blooded.
Here's what I think
for passing the ball, because old Russell Westbrook, I think if he's not with Denver, he tries to go 1-on-2 and finish at the rim.
I think it's two things that hurt OKC. One, Westbrook went for 18 off the bench. I think they got to limit that. And the other thing, I'm not sure in NBA history, I think they got to show me the stats. But Denver had 3 guys who had double-doubles. Aaron Gordon had 22 and 14. You just talked about Joker, who had 42 and 22. And then Brown had 11 and 13. It's like, y'all got to get a damn rebound. Y'all can't get y'all can't get a rebound. Like, y'all got to get a rebound, bro.
Think about it. That's deflating, that 22 and 14 that Gordon gives you. That's deflating.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they got out rebounded by 20. You can't get out rebounded by that much, fam. So they got out rebounded.
Chet not. He ain't got enough. What Charles Barkley said, he ain't got enough rocks in his pocket.
Yeah, but that means if you know that means on the other end, then you got to make them pay. But it was like everybody just had pedestrian games. Chet Holmgren, 5 for 11. He got a 12 points on 11 shots. You had Jalen Williams, 16 points on 20 shots. You had Hardenstein, who had 12 points on 12 shots. Even SGA had 33 points on 26 shots. It's like nobody just, it's one of those things where you say, did OKC and Boston both have too much time off? Because they came into those games and they just weren't sharp.
I think Boston can figure it out. I think OKC really is in trouble. Because if we look at it, we both talked about it. If Ja don't get hurt, they win that game. Now they did beat them by 50 or 60, but them last two weren't so convincing.
Right.
And it seemed like they started off, them first two playoff games when they won by 60 points or whatever, like that was a great game. But it seemed like somewhere OKC's like smelling themselves a little. Like OKC's acting like they just been here and like they acting like Boston.
They think it's the regular season.
Like how Boston, okay, y'all made it enough and lost to where like, okay, we belong in the playoffs. We here, we gonna walk right to the Eastern Conference Finals. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, see, this could be the second year where y'all get put out second round. And then we got to talk about Shea. And we got and now we got to start looking at, is he a regular season guy? We got to talk about Jalen Williams, who I love. Is it gonna work with him? Are they all swag? You know what I'm saying? Like they care a little bit too much about their clothes and commercials.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and listen, it's gonna be it's gonna be an interesting run with them, because I think if they don't make the finals, forget the conference finals, if they don't make the NBA finals, I think you got to make some moves. I think that team got to make some moves. You got to trade some guys, and they're gonna have a new identity. All that. The only way that they can sustain all this, post game stuff they do with everybody coming to the interviews, you got to win a championship to sustain that. If y'all lose, like you said, in the second round, yeah, we trading pieces away. That's done.
Hold on. It's a bad night, boy. Draymond got 14. He 4 or 5 from 3.
Yeah, that's good. That's good for Minnesota.
Draymond out there going crazy.
That's good for Minnesota. I don't believe in that.
Draymond 4 or 5 from 3.
Yeah, I always say, like, I'm cool when those other guys are making shots. The problem is that Steph Curry got going early too. That's the problem.
Is Minnesota scored 2 points in the last 7 minutes. So Golden State.
Yeah, but I mean, Anthony Edwards is 0 for 7. So do y'all? I mean, he got to stay aggressive. I don't think he's gonna go 0 for the game. He got to stay aggressive. Anthony Edwards, I don't know what type of shots he's shooting. He's 0 for 7, 6 rebounds. I mean, possibly. Again, I'm not watching the game, so I don't know. But everybody's playing bad. Julius Randle is 0 for 3 from 3. I don't know why he already got three threes already in the first half. McDaniels is 0 for 2. Conley's 0 for 1 from 3. Edwards is 0 for. They haven't made it. They're 0 for 13 as a team from 3 right now.
And yeah, that's bad.
You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, Golden State is 9 for 17 from 3 right now. So they're shooting it at 53%, and you're shooting it at 0%. So that's basically the 13-point lead right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like y'all are 0 from 3, so y'all got to make a couple shots.
They're still scrapping, but yeah,
they'll get back in the game, because Draymond's not. This is not sustainable for Draymond. With that being said, are they gonna let Buddy Hield go off? Buddy Hield right now is 0 points, 0 for 4 from the field. So he has.
Y'all got to go back and give my boy Draymond some credit. I saw a clip. Man, Draymond had like 35 in that game 7 when he came back against Cleveland. I seen.
Oh, you talking about when LeBron came back from down 3-1?
Yeah, when Kyrie made the game-winning shot.
Yeah, when like no team, just for the record, it's only one team in NBA history who's come back from down 3-1 in the finals. That was LeBron.
Yeah, Kyrie Irving's. Yeah,
and like LeBron blocked the shot to like.
Right, so we all gonna remember the shot.
I don't remember. No, what I remember is I remember Steph Curry shooting an air ball in the fourth quarter with the game on the line. That's what I remember. Airball.
No. Hold on.
He shot an airball on Kevin Love. On Kevin Love, he threw up an airball.
We had a segment on the show about moments, and you was talking about big moments in the first round. You know,
we're talking about the finals now.
Let's talk about big moments in the finals. Yeah. There's only been a couple of times where we've seen big shots like that. You know, Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Against the who was that? The Jazz, the snatchback, and then you know the step back with Kyrie Irving, the shot Ray Allen hit. You know what I'm saying? Which shot LeBron hit? All them finals he made.
You want to go here? Do you want to do this right now? Do you want to do this
in the finals? Which one?
The man was averaging a 35-point triple-double, and you want to. And
what
you want to do?
Hold on.
And what you want to do is narrow him
down.
About
moments right now. Which big shot do you remember? And all these, because the man lived in the finals. That's his whole claim to fame. Yeah. Is for a whole decade I lived in the finals.
It's too many to count.
Oh, okay.
Too many to count. Too many to count. Kyrie only got one. That's the only one we know about because he was in the fight. Kyrie was just in the finals. Hold on, time out. Kyrie was just in the finals last year. What'd he do? How'd that work out for him? What'd he do in those finals last year?
That same young man who just sent y'all home.
I don't know nothing about none of that y'all talking about.
That same YN that just sent y'all home. That was walking from the stadium down LA streets, talking about Superman gonna die in this movie. Talking about the good guy gonna die in this movie. That same little YN that told Obama stand down. Yeah, he tried that mess with Kyrie last year. And the only thing he said at the end of the series is, "I should have left that nigga alone."
Yeah, but Drew Holiday had a fun time with him. Drew Holiday had a good time. Drew Holiday had a good time with him.
Don't do that.
Drew Holiday had a good time with him.
Don't do that. Ant said he should have left Kyrie alone.
Drew Holiday had a nice day with him, though. A good. What was it? 5 games, 6 games. Drew Holiday had a fun time with him. I'm just telling you what Drew Holiday did with him. Fun times. Okay, let's go here, man. Let's end on some positive shit. I guess it's bittersweet though, right? Greg Popovich, after having a stroke, and it was tough to watch him at that press conference. He's very limited in not only in his mobility, but also you can see he's limited in his not limited in his speech, but his speech patterns are very slowed down and delayed. So it's tough to watch Pop in that state where he's like speaking and he's, because we used to Pop being kind of a smart aleck, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, very witty, you know what I'm saying? Like very quick, boom, boom, boom. And now he's, slowed down. He's trying to make sure that he can get out what he wants to say because of the stroke. He's no longer going to be the coach. He's going to be the president of basketball operations for San Antonio. So he's still involved with the franchise. Where do you rank Pop on your coaches list, all-time basketball coach, NBA coaches?
I take him over them guys we was arguing about last time.
What you got, over Phil?
Yeah, I'm taking Pop.
So you got Pop number 1 all time.
I'm taking Pop.
Wow. I mean, 5 championships. He's the architect, I would say, behind
bringing the international talent and really
that's what I was gonna say. He's the architect behind bringing the international talent in. Yeah,
that's why I think when you look at what he did for basketball, and just like his fingerprints being on the game, even long after him coaching, like him introducing us to a 19-year-old Tony Parker at the time before the Rubio and before all those other guys that we've seen, they go get him going to get a Tony Parker when like we ain't know who in the world Tony Parker was. I remember even watching that, like, who is this little fast, light-skinned joker? You know what I'm saying? And then Ginobili, like, to the kids, like, go and really watch. if y'all ain't watched the highlight tape and you really just want to go watch some craziness, go watch Ginobili.
He
And
brought
really,
the
like,
Euro step to the NBA.
bro, the Euro step, like just the swag, he had it all.
Left-handed, could dunk on you, shoot the three,
Handle,
midi. Yeah,
he
everything
was
was there.
like, he was cold. The flash with the passes, he was like, and one. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was probably the only dude Pop couldn't control. You know what I'm saying? Which I think is probably why he always had to come off the
Come off
bench.
the bench, yeah.
Because he was just uncontrollable.
Yeah,
Like,
you gotta just let that motherfucker play.
Pop with and then like Tim Duncan just I see what I see in Joker. I see Tim Duncan, with all these with all these lefties and how loose they are with the Euros and the step backs. I see Ginobili. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
It's just I think Pop, like, the reason why I would say one over those other guys is just like we all knew Michael Jordan. We all, like, maybe the Lakers don't win 3 in a row without Phil, but Kobe and Shaq, I believe,
They're eventually gonna win, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if the Spurs ever quite become the Spurs if Popovich in there, even with that's them same guys with that same team. Like, ain't nobody just gonna give Ginobili a chance like that. I think Tim Duncan might have gotten 1 ring, maybe 2. I don't know if they go down 5 rings matching Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think even with what Popovich was able to do, and like you look at Kawhi, like him finding Kawhi, turning Kawhi into that. Like, Kawhi wasn't drafted and just you gonna be that. Like, Pop really turned Kawhi into that.
They traded that point guard for Kawhi on draft day. Was it George?
George Hill. Shout out to homie George Hill. He in San
Yeah.
Antonio, right?
Yeah, they traded George Hill, who at the time had a lot of upside.
That was like George Hill and Pop are like this, and Pop allowed George Hill to go and get more money, go to Indiana, sent them to his home team, and then found Kawhi Leonard. And then still, even with the Kawhi thing, if you remember, told him stop booing Kawhi. Like, he was always classy.
He went and grabbed the microphone and told him stop booing Kawhi.
In the middle of a free throw routine and said, come on, we better than that. Like,
and him and Kawhi had real heat. You know what I'm saying? They had real heat. You know what I'm saying? Like, Kawhi was like, he left because of all the stuff that Pop. Like, one thing about Pop, and it's crazy because I always thought that Pop, my perspective was Pop and what's my dude name from Compton that came down to San Antonio?
DeRozan.
Yeah, DeRozan. I was like, oh man, that he ain't really a Pop dude. And then I see that he was so close with Pop that Pop wrote the foreword to his book. It's like, damn, like Pop really.
And when Pop went and sat with him when he lost somebody,
yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know if it was Pop or somebody else. I think his Pops had already passed, but somebody else had passed that he was close to. It is like, yeah, like all those Olympic guys always talk about. Draymond had a great conversation when they talked to him about it. He was like, man, I wish I had just one more time to, like, in a regular season game, be able to go up and hug him, you know what I'm saying, before the game. Like all those guys, LeBron talks about how he loves Pop, you know what I'm saying? Like all those guys really had an affinity. It seems like Pop, he's one of those basketball lifers who just really enjoyed basketball. Pop really enjoyed being around greatness. He enjoyed, like, getting the best out of guys, and he knew how to draw it out.
He appreciated all the relationships that basketball brings. And I think a lot of that is like, that's some of the things until you around that, and you, if you haven't been in like that team environment, then you take it to a bigger scale to the league where you're really affecting so many guys, whether they played for you, didn't play for you, played against you. It's just like basketball brings so many relationships, and opportunities to, like, have those bonds. So for somebody like Pop, you could tell he appreciated that. Like you could tell out of all the years him going against Kobe. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
there was I'ma love you even through we gotta go face this mug. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he was just one of those where like anybody he has who encountered his presence, you know, like you felt that. So I think that's the best thing, and that's the difference to a guy like, you know, I'm hard on Phil Jackson.
Paul.
No, I'm saying I'm hard on Phil Jackson.
Yeah, I'm saying Paul.
I think that was the difference. Like Phil Jackson affected his team, but like we heard the comments about LeBron. You know what I'm saying? We seen the end.
Well, hell, we heard he wrote a book talking shit about Kobe.
You know
he talked shit about Kobe, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Pat Riley, we kind of watching like.
Oh yeah, that series, that winning time series, yeah.
Yeah,
that winning time series kind of showed you some of Pat Riley in his early days, and now we're seeing it. No, I'm with you. And it's like, I think Pop's military service, he's a military guy. I think that really, you know what I'm saying? Like, he really valued like those, it was important for, and like whether or not you agree with his politics, he would be political, he would have his stances, he would say what he says, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, I didn't always appreciate him being an asshole to the media. And my only issue is that like everybody else, I don't like when we give guys different standards, right? But like Pop had got to a point to where he was above, right, a regular coach. But
even in that, he was a jerk to the media, but he wasn't a Belichick jerk to like the media even appreciated. The media even appreciated.
They would be laughing about the whole thing, like they understood.
It was like, okay, I'm not gonna talk to y'all and let y'all create an article to come and get some material. Like I'm just gonna, you know, give you. I'm all Marshawn. I'm here so I don't get fined. We giving him Belichick is actually condescending. You know, we
giving him a lot of props, and I love Pop too. I think Pop's a hell of a coach. I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't go here though. Because for as much as we can say he loved all these other players, he didn't keep them on his teams. These, as Tariq Nasheed would say it, these FBA players, these black players. He didn't have a lot of just American black players on his team. If we're going to keep it real, if we're going to keep it a buck, he never, like, he got rid of Steven Jackson.
But we just talked about it. I think that's, I'm going to give you, even if you don't like, okay, and you listen to Steven Jackson, the way he talk about Pop, he disagreed with some of them roster moves, but Pop always gonna be transparent. I've heard Steven Jackson tell the story. Pop say, "You not finna play." Even one of our homies, I became pretty close with a dude for the Spurs. I won't say his name. He's no longer there this year. Last year, he was on the team. Better than a lot of them dudes that's playing, Trey Jones and a lot of them guards that they had. And Pop pretty much told them, hey, I'm gonna let you get your money this year. You not gonna play. You know what I'm saying? You get your money, stay in shape, stay being a good teammate, and we get you out of there. So I think, like, you know, that don't sit well with everybody while you're going through it, but at the end, they always gonna respect that. The transparency, the opportunity to
my only thing is that, like, I don't see,
like, even the Kawhi situation, Pop and him had real smoke. Other than Tony Parker coming out and saying whatever he said about Kawhi, we ain't never see Pop really like say nothing bad.
My only thing is, and again, I'm just playing devil's advocate. I never saw, you know, Pop for all these, you know, Olympians and all those guys. He never was trying to trade for none of those guys. It's not like he never tried to get him on his team. He was going overseas and getting guys.
That's the greatness.
I know, but I'm saying though, like, so you're telling me is no American-born players you can get? Because his, like, he brought you Tim Duncan, U.S. Virgin Islands, Manu Ginobili, Argentina.
He ain't got nobody from the ghetto.
I'm just trying to give you. I'm giving you. Look, because when he became coach, David Robinson was already there. Avery Johnson was already there. Sean Elliott was already there. He gave you Tim Duncan, U.S. Virgin Islands, Manu Ginobili, Argentina, Tony Parker, France, Wemby, France. Who are the Boris Diaw was a big part of these teams. He did bring in, to be fair,
Patty
he
Mills,
brought in
Australia.
Right, Patty Mills, Australia. Right, he did bring in Robert Ory for a couple chips and helped out.
Hold on, I'm thinking Roy Bellinelli.
I'm telling you, when you start thinking about, he didn't fuck with black players. I'm trying to keep it buck with you. Like, he didn't get American-born black players like that. If you really look at the roster,
y'all Negroes too uncontrollable. Y'all Negroes don't want to be controlled.
That's what I'm saying. But like, he had good relationships with those guys, like those superstars on the Olympic team. But he wasn't trying to get none of the motherfuckers to come to San Antonio with him.
But
he never.
LaMarcus Aldridge, I feel like they had a good relationship. That went south because Aldridge had his little. What Aldridge had? He had an injury or something.
Yeah, it just didn't work out.
DeRozan.
And again, it didn't work. But it was no. They were never like. So let's talk about all three of those guys, right? Let's talk about all three of them because those are the three black players that he got like in their
big moves. I would say big moves.
Yeah, close in their prime. So let's talk. Let's go through it. So the first one would be Aldridge, right? So he brings Aldridge in. I think we can all agree Aldridge isn't your typical, he's real. He's from Pflugerville. He's from like Austin. Like he's.
I don't know nothing about that. Where he from? I didn't know.
He's from like Austin, Pflugerville, that area outside. Kind of like small town area. He went to UT, but it's.
Oh, so he's like a local kid.
Yeah, he's from Texas. Yeah.
Was
yeah,
like
he from Texas. Yeah. He from So playing in San Antonio, he was at the crib. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't tripping. Yeah, he from Texas. Yeah, LaMarcus is from Texas. He's a Texas boy.
So he really just that was like a end of career. I'm gonna go ahead and
LaMarcus is someone who growing up looked up to David Robinson, Tim Duncan. You know what I'm saying? Him coming to the Spurs, he already knew what to do when he got here. He knew how it was going to be when he got here. And if we're going to be honest, he was on the downside of his career when he showed up in San Antonio.
Right. He stayed a little too long in Portland, I think.
In Portland, right. So then you go, the next person he brings in is Kawhi, right? Kawhi is a draft day guy. To this day, Kawhi doesn't talk. They call him Cyborg. This motherfucker don't talk at all. You know what I'm saying? I love the famous meme of Kawhi in Toronto, ain't trying to get him hype, and to Kawhi point like, hey, nigga, that way, nigga, fuck out of here. We going that way. Like, nigga, like, I ain't doing all this dumb shit. Like, Kawhi don't do, like, that's just Kawhi's personality is he's not doing all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not talking, I'm just hooping. So, like, he fits with San Antonio because he's not even talking. He just gonna play basketball. And then DeRozan, again, he's kind of in there for 3 years? It's like a transitional period. It's not really a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? It's like
San Antonio. He loved Pop, but he didn't want to be there.
Yeah, he didn't want to be in San Antonio. You know what I'm saying? When you a Cali dude, you know what I'm saying? You didn't play it in where had he been from that point? He had already been
in. He had been to Toronto. I think that was the trade from Toronto, and they got Kawhi.
Yeah. So he had been, and Toronto is just like in comparison to San Antonio, Toronto turned up. You know what I'm saying? Toronto's super. You know what I mean? And so he don't want to be in Texas like that. He just rolled it out till he got out. So I'm just simply saying, like, if you really look at it, he never brought in no YNs. No YNs came up in here.
So he drafted DeJounte. Now, if he wouldn't have had the health problem, this with Chris Paul and De'Aaron Fox, this could have been bringing them to.
I believe they're one player away right now. I would probably go ahead and move on from Harrison Barnes and get somebody else in there. And man, if you can do De'Aaron Fox, Wemby, and one more piece.
And I like the young kid Castle.
I do like Castle, rookie of the year.
I'm hearing Well, I just read something that contradicted it, but for a while I was hearing Giannis kind of wanted to find a way to San Antonio.
Giannis would fit with San Antonio, foreign born. You know what I'm saying? No
He
way.
that type. He's kind of like I don't need all the all the glitz and glamour.
Yeah.
But then I read something today that said no, he prefers a big market. He want New York.
I heard L.A., New York, Miami. That's what I heard.
Yeah. So
again, he would definitely fit down there in Miami.
I believe Miami, or I could see him going to the Clippers. I could see the Clippers doing something.
Whoa! What about the Lakers? Oh, yes, with the Clippers.
Y'all don't have enough. LeBron making $52 million next year.
He can redo his deal. I think he got a player option, don't he?
LeBron making 50-something, Luka making high 40s, and Giannis going.
LeBron got a player option. Let me see LeBron contract. Don't he got a player option?
Oh wow! Hold on, we got to give a update. Steph Curry has left the game. Will not return game 1 with the left hamstring strain.
You said he was limping.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that sounds like old nigga shit, right? A left hamstring, old nigga shit. Sounds like some old nigga shit. That's what I tried to tell you. You didn't want to listen to me.
It was cooking so much.
Yeah, that's what happens with old niggas. That's why I don't do that much. That's why he was like, "Hey man, I seen these videos you do it." That's why I don't even try to do that shit because I know what's gonna happen. They was literally asking me today. They was like, "Hey man, why don't you be coming to getting the ball?" Because if I come get the ball and try to do too much, I know what's gonna happen. I just had 2 of my college teammates in back-to-back years tear their fucking Achilles trying to do too much.
Let me ask you, would you rather him leave whenever he got hurt or walk through the motions and when Minnesota come back, all of a sudden the reports come out at the end of the game? At least we can say
I would rather him not get hurt. What are you talking about?
No. Hold on. Your guy, so-called, was hurt and played the whole game, and then we didn't hear about it until he was kissing his wife after the game.
I mean, he didn't put it out. The Lakers put it out, not him. And LeBron does have a player option next year for $52 million, so he can. It's his option, so he can opt out. He can restructure that deal if he wants to.
What you mean?
What do you mean? What I mean? It's a player option. It's a player option. He's an unrestricted free agent the following year, which I don't believe he's going to play that year. I think next year is his last year. Year 23 is his last year.
And he's going to do the same thing Kobe did at the end of his career.
No, if LeBron's
my restitution. I need my restitution.
I'm not mad at him if he does that, but that means he doesn't want to win a chip. If he wants to win a chip, he would not exercise that option. He would let the Lakers re-sign him at a lower clip so that they can bring in a Giannis. That's what he should do.
I already let y'all go get Luka. What you mean?
No, he didn't let him go get Luka. They traded Anthony Davis for Luka.
Right.
So those contracts should be equal.
And it's clear that the Lakers are building around Luka for the future, right?
Agreed. Now they can build.
So, I'm here for these next couple years.
No, I'm here for one more year, and we're gonna go get Giannis. And now it's me, Giannis, and Luka, and y'all can.
So now you want me to be a third option?
Yes, because we got Giannis and Luka. I believe Giannis is the best player in the world. I got Giannis over Joker. I think Giannis is the best player in the world, personally.
Newsflash, LeBron James would never.
I mean, the motherfucker's gonna be 41 at some point. He's not gonna be.
James would never.
He's gonna be 41 next year. I mean, what are we doing? What are we doing?
That's what I'm saying.
What are we doing?
And he coming off an injury late in the playoffs. So is he gonna play?
I do want to say this though. I'm not happy because this is if Steph Curry, if it's truly a hamstring, he's done this round. If it's a hamstring, it's a hamstring. Go ask Chris Paul. Those linger. That's
Curry ain't no Chris Paul. Stop it. We already had that.
It don't matter who you are.
Talk about ask Chris Paul. It ain't too many guys you can ask Steph Curry to
No,
go back.
because Chris Paul has had hamstring injuries his whole career. When you get a hamstring, it's not something that is a 3-4 day. Because like right now, they're playing every other day. It's not a you can't play today, you can play in 2-day injury because it's still so you got to work that shit out. It has to heal. That depending on the grade of strain, you don't got this is you know what this is? This is showing the wear and tear from that Houston series. This is what
7 games.
This is going that 7 games and then having to go again in a day and a half. That's what this is showing. They were up 13 at halftime. Now he's out. I mean, again, to me, this is par for the course. This is what happens when you're an older player. I'm not surprised by any of this. I told you. I tried to tell y'all. Y'all didn't want to listen to me. But when you get old, this is what you know how many. You know what's crazy? I'm gonna tell you this, Ross. I'm not Steph Curry at all. But do you know before I was 35, I had no hamstring injuries. Post 35, I've had to buy shit to like work on my hamstrings post 35 years old. Because now I get all these hamstring goddamn injuries. Because you got to stretch. You got to constantly stretch them hoes. Constantly make sure you're nimble. Because you're just older. It's just what happens. This is what happens, bro. This is life. This is not a knock on Steph Curry. This is just what happens as you get older.
That thing ain't no joke, boy.
Yeah, and if it's a hammy, now you're talking about like what?
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say now you're talking about pain tolerance, and you're also talking about he's a shooter, like you said earlier. He's a shooter. Okay, well now we're talking about your legs, right? Get into your shot. You know, so we're talking about the offense they run is with him running around and getting movement. They talk about how many miles he runs in the game. Well, now you got a hamstring injury. So,
boy, them hamstrings ain't no joke. Cause I be tripping off a trolley horse. I be in the bed catch a trolley horse and that thing and how you. So them hamstrings, boy, I know that ain't no joke.
And you know who's not finna care is Minnesota. They're down 13 right now. They don't care that Steph Curry's not coming back. They trying to win the game.
No threes, and they about to come in the second half gunning.
Yeah, we finna try to. So now Pod's got to play the whole game. Okay, let's see this. Let's watch this. You know what I'm saying? Before we get out here tonight, let's talk about boxing and this weekend that we just watched in boxing. A tragic. I hope people didn't watch this weekend. It was a tragic weekend in boxing. I love boxing. It's my favorite sport of all time. We did get a setup for Terrence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez, September 12th from Las Vegas. I'm going to try to get a ticket, but my wife's birthday is September 10th. So I'm sorry. September 10th. So I don't know if I can make it. It depends on when she want to celebrate her birthday, but I'm going to try to go.
It seems like you and wifey going to get tickets.
Yeah, she don't want to go to that shit at all. I know she ain't trying to go, but I would love to be in there, even if it's nosebleed. I would love to be in there for that fight. Just to be in that number. That's a classic fight, and I think a lot of people feel like after this victory that Canelo had against Skull, that there was some chinks in the armor. Skull used a lot of movement, didn't stay still, just kept moving on his toes, and I think people thought, okay, well, Terrence Crawford's a better boxer than him. So if Terrence can just stick and move, he can probably beat Canelo. The problem is twofold. One, that's not the way that Terrence Crawford, that's not his natural fighting style. And number two, Crawford is putting on weight. So now you're asking Crawford, who has never fought at that weight before, 168 pounds. He's coming up. He only had one fight, I believe, at 154 pounds. So he's basically coming up from 147 pounds, which is where he fought Errol Spence at, was 147. And now he's moved up to 168 pounds. And you're asking him to bounce around and be on his toes. I think that's not a realistic thing for him because it's not a natural weight for him to be at. So I don't think that he's going to be bounced around on his toes. And that's not the way he fights. So I think he's going to be more of a stationary target. And I think that Canelo's just a bigger, stronger puncher. And I think I don't know if Canelo stops him, but I can see Canelo. Canelo might put a beating on him. Pause.
Terrence Crawford.
I think he might put a beating on him.
I don't know.
And I really like Terrence.
Yeah, I'm never just rooting for Canelo, like you say with your story. I'm rooting for my kind. I'm going Crawford.
I mean, I would
get what you're saying though. It is that's a great point. And just I don't know. Look, I was going Spence, and then Crawford just showed me he is of a different ilk. And then I don't know if he's just riding that high too much. And it's like maybe he just beat up Spence so bad that we all just, he might have a little too much dip on his chip.
I think it's just a lot. Because think about when Floyd was still whooping ass and taking names, everybody was trying to get him to fight Triple G at 160 pounds. And I always said Floyd did the correct thing by never taking that bait and going up to 160. Because Floyd was fighting at 147. They're like, oh, it's only 13 pounds. That's a whole lot of weight in boxing.
That's 13 really like 5 pounds.
Yeah, 13 pounds is a whole lot of weight. Because those guys that are fighting at 160, they're probably walking around at 190. So they're way bigger than you are. So it's just a lot of weight. Now you're talking about 168, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, 160, I just think it's a lot of weight for Terrence Crawford. I know Terrence Crawford, he's from Nebraska. He has a background in wrestling as well. So they said he's very strong and he's wiry and strong for his size. That's fine. But I've seen him at 135 pounds get rocked by guys. Mm-hmm. So now you're going to come up to 160, 168. So, I don't like this fight for him personally. I don't like this fight because in boxing, the conventional wisdom is the good big guy always beats the good small guy. That's the conventional wisdom. The only thing that ever really bucked that conventional wisdom was when Sugar Ray Leonard in the 80s fought Hagler. And a lot of people feel like Hagler won and that they just gave Sugar Ray the rounds because at the end of the rounds, the last 10 seconds, he would just throw a lot of punches and they would just, Sugar Ray won the round. So a lot of people felt like Hagler actually won the fight, but typically the good big guy beats the good small guy because you're coming up to where I am. That's an example of Hagler and Sugar Ray. Another example I would give, though, is when Andre Ward moved up to light heavyweight and he fought a guy named Chad Dawson. This was Chad Dawson had just won. Who did he beat? I think he beat your boy from Florida. What's your boy from Florida that knocked out Roy Jones? Terrence. I was gonna say Terrence. What's his name? He's from Florida, dark skin, bald head. Oh my God, he was in the Rocky movie. What's my dude's name? Antonio Tarver. There you go. I think he had beat, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say Chad Dawson had beat Tarver, or he either had beat Tarver or he had beat Bernard Hopkins, one of the two. So he was the reigning light heavyweight champion. And Andre Ward didn't actually fight him at light heavyweight. They fought at a catch weight because even he knew that going up to that much weight was going to be an issue. So they fought at a catch weight. They met in the middle. So he drained a light heavyweight to come down in weight to fight him, which if you're a light heavyweight, I would never drain myself to fight a guy. You got to come up to me. So, but, that's Andre Ward. Andre Ward, another guy who, I know people feel like, people always bring up Floyd, who retired undefeated, but Andre Ward also retired undefeated. I'll say this for the weekend of boxing, though. It was a bad weekend for me. You had Teofimo Lopez, who I thought fought a solid fight against a guy who he should have beat. Then we had Devin Haney, who fought a very timid, scared fight. Ran way too much. I didn't like that fight at all. And then you had Rolly Romero shocked the world, really, against Ryan Garcia. I should have put some money on Rolly because I thought Rolly had a real chance. I thought it was an even fight. I didn't realize that Rolly was plus 700. Had I known that, I would have definitely put some money on that shit for Rolly. I didn't realize it until like the day of the fight. I was like, hold on, Rolly's plus 700. What the hell? And then after that fight, you had the Canelo card on the zone. It was underwhelming. And then finally, you had the monster Inuit, who got knocked down, but had a really good fight. That saved the weekend for me on Sunday. But it was an underwhelming card. I think Ryan Garcia got a lot of question marks. Devin Haney's a question mark. You mentioned it earlier. Teofimo called out Boots. I think Boots beats Teofimo easy. I would still like to see Ryan and Devin Haney do a rematch. I think it's still a lot of money in that. Rolly put himself in a position to make some money. I'm hearing that Pacquiao might be making a comeback and wants to have a fight against the kid from San Antonio, the Barrios kid from San Antonio. So that's a big fight for him if he can get that fight against Pacquiao. That's a big payday. So it's stuff bubbling in boxing. And then in September 12th, we got Terrence Crawford and Canelo. What say you?
Did you think it's over for Ryan?
Say it again.
You don't think it's over for Ryan after this knockout?
He didn't get knocked out. He just, I think it's probably been over for Ryan. though. I think that's probably why he was on the shit that he was on when he fought Devin. You know what I'm saying? I think I don't know how much Devin likes fighting anymore. I'm sorry, how much Ryan likes fighting anymore. I think he had a rise up where he was really good at it. Now he hit a point to where it's too difficult. And I don't know if he wants that grind. I think he's a social media star. I think he got a lot of celebrity friends.
You need to go fight one of the Paul brothers.
Yeah, I think he can fight. He can make money on gimmick fights at this point. So I don't think he wants any of that real. But I do think it's still a lot of money in him and Devin Haney fighting again because of what happened that first fight. Even though it got thrown out, I think it's still a lot of money to be made in that fight. I think a lot of people, because that was a real racial divide in that fight as well. A lot of Hispanics were talking a lot of shit after that fight. So I think it's a lot of money to be made still, even though he lost. A lot of money to be made in that fight. And plus, because Devin Haney still got pillow hands, he don't got no real power. So Ryan can still have a good chance in that fight. But the days of Ryan being like the second coming of Oscar De La Hoya, all that shit is done. That's done. Yeah, he's not that anymore. He's done. He's not. He is who he is at this point.
It's crazy because before that Tank fight, it was like, okay, he's the one. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, Minnesota down 20?
Yeah. Golden State still going. Buddy Hield hitting threes. Pods playing good. I'm gonna tell you what I'm most impressive, and I told you about Golden State on this playoff run. Them bringing in Jimmy defensively, like right now they got GP on Ant. They got Jimmy out there. So DiVincenzo's not playing. So you got GP, you got Jimmy, you got Draymond, and then Potts is like a super energetic defender. He's not, a lockdown defender, but he gonna give him the energy. Like they got guys who get after you and really make it tough for you. So, it's different than I think what the Lakers showed Minnesota. There's a lot of laziness on defense. What I've been calling out for the Lakers the whole time.
But I mean, Anthony Edwards is 0 for 10 though. I mean, I don't care how good a defender you are. He shouldn't be 0 for 10 with 1 point. I mean, come on.
I'm sitting here glancing. He's missed a lot at the rim. They're not calling the fouls. How many free throws did he shoot?
Let me take a look. He is 1 for 2 from the free throw line.
Yeah, they're not calling it at the rim where he's trying to be aggressive, but they're not calling it. But we got it. Hey, Draymond is out there doing the heck of it. Can we get Draymond's stat line, please?
Draymond right now, 6 of 9 from the field, 4 for 7 from 3. He got 16 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals.
That's Cap's whole game. That's the
Hilarious.
whole game for Cap. You know what I'm saying? Only person right now for Minnesota I see giving them anything, Nas Reed. How many Nas Reed got?
Nas Reed off the bench. He is 3 for 5 from the field, 6 points.
And then how many DiVincenzo got?
2 for 6 from the field, 4 points.
Yeah, and I ain't seen nobody else do nothing.
Yeah, I mean, when your lead dog is 0, so you got Anthony Edwards 0 for 10, Mike Conley 0 for 4.
He's had a rough playoffs, bro. They got to do something with Conley. Remember,
I know they do. Don't
we've been talking about it for the last year.
Yeah, they got to make a decision on Conley because he's just.
Why not just play the young kid?
I'm with you. Yeah, I'm looking at. Yeah, I would. He's not on the playoff roster though. You talking about
Rob Dillingham?
He's not on the playoff roster.
So he's not even dressed out. Okay.
Mm-mm. They got your boy on the playoff roster. Your boy T. Shannon.
T. Shan.
He on the playoff roster.
I would let T. Shan get some run just to bring some energy. They need some energy.
They got Joe Ingles. Why not? I mean, he's got a lot of play. I mean, I don't know. I mean, shit, they down 20. Why not put Ingles in? He can shoot.
Yeah. And Minnesota, it could be Minnesota kind of, with beating the Lakers and getting that little couple of days break. They might just need to be slapped in the face, game one. It's crazy because Minnesota is 6th seed and they're hosting this series at home.
Yeah.
Because it's the 6-7.
Julius Randle got 10 points on 9 shots. McDaniels got 8 points on 8 shots. Gobert got 6 points on 4 shots. Like nobody's doing anything. Like nobody.
Okay. Gobert got to wake up and give you what he get. So now that Gobert's shown us that he's capable, how he played that game 6, he's got to play like that every game against Golden State. That game 6 against the Lakers, he realized, hey, I'm the only big man on the court. I'm going to be big. What Gobert had 28 and 20, something crazy. Like, he should be having that against Draymond. Instead, you got Draymond out here going crazy. Game of his life.
I mean, shout out to Draymond. This is what you're supposed to do when you're a talker, when you do all that. In these situations, you show up and you ball out. I've always said I'm not mad. I've never been mad at Draymond. My problem is with the way that they officiate Draymond. They officiate him totally different from everybody else. Yeah. Like they gave Joker a flagrant yesterday. They would have never given Draymond a flagrant for that elbow behind the head. That wouldn't have been a flagrant on Draymond.
That's a little shot by Joker though.
Clearly, but Draymond does this shit all the time. He be smacking motherfuckers and kicking people, all types of wild shit. And they be like, "Oh, well, it's and then they call it on Draymond, and then they allow Draymond to cuss him out for the next 10 minutes. It's like, this is crazy, bro. It's crazy. All right, before we get up out of here tonight, man, can we talk about a little bit of this Met Gala stuff with these celebrities and going to the Met Gala?
Oh, what's up?
I think this is where the freak offs, quote unquote, originated, was at these type of parties, these Met Gala after parties and all this type of
parties for stuff like this.
Yeah, this is where the freak offs all originated.
A lot of the sassy boys come out and play.
Cause I'm seeing people dressed in some wild shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing dudes wearing blouses and all types of wild shit.
Well, I was having this conversation with the homies, and we was just talking about just in general. Like I'm disappointed with a lot of people in entertainment, but just in general, like this whole new notion. Like we got Dwayne Wade with his whole hands painted. You know what I'm saying? To match his black, to match his outfit and all. Yeah. We got all these guys, shout out to the fashion industry as a whole. Like I love fashion, but I was trying to explain this to the homies. Like the whole fashion industry derives from, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
All the big time creatives at all these brands, when you look at who these brands are named after them, like I seen they, who was it? It was I think it was the real Michael Kors, and he was
Mm-hmm.
there with Megan Thee Stallion, and like he's a white dude sitting there with two black women, and he's like more flamboyant than they are. You know, and it's just like you really like look at what's going on in fashion and who's at the all these designers, all these everything. It's like you can't help but see there's a narrative that they push. There's an
Yeah.
agenda. Uh, it's all just a little too. Hey, whatever floats your boat. You know what I'm saying? Whatever floats your boat. But me, I'm going back to just a fitted cap. You know, catch me in a regular t-shirt. You know what I'm saying? Some sweatpants. Give me a good
Yeah.
pair of forces. You know what I'm saying? That's my fashion. Because I don't want to ever get to the point where I'm hopping out like my boy Damson. You see the way my boy Damson hopped
Yeah,
out?
like the little he had the biker shit on, then they pulled that shit off of him, right?
And he was fresh with just the suit. But why you
Yeah.
can't just wear the suit?
I
You
mean,
know, they even got my boy Future. You
I
seen
did see
Future
Future wearing some wild shit too. Yeah, that I was like, yeah, that shit was crazy.
and cut the hair, dyed it blonde. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? It
yeah.
was a
This is where you're seeing when people talk about quote unquote the rituals and all that shit. These are the times you be like, well, hey, like what the fuck are they doing this for? You know what I'm saying? Like what is happening right now? Like
well,
I'm
and
seeing,
all these brand names and all these brand heads and big people higher up and okay, yeah, this is my suit made from Gianni Versace herself, you know,
yeah,
and then you got the next in line, whatever dude, they're smacking you on the booty.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? He going to measure your leg, grabbing your meat. You know what I'm saying, man? He getting your measurements and stuff. Like, man, it's a lot of weird.
meat is crazy.
It's a lot of man. It look like a lot of weird. You know what I think of? You have y'all ever seen Rush Hour 2? Whenever
Yeah,
they show they come out the sewer and he go and he need to get fitted for the suit. And
yeah,
Chris he walks in and the white dude's like, oh yeah, you look like a mocha man. And he's like, and the white dude, oh yeah, that's what I think of the whole Met Gala. Like I just nah. I'm
yeah,
cool. Hey, see me and just shout out to Pharrell. Pharrell was fresh. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? It was some fresh people there. But like, yeah, man, hey, give me a fitted hat, regular all black suit, and
Yeah,
keep it.
yeah. When I saw some of that stuff, I was like, yeah, you see some of these people, yeah, that's a blouse. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, like, that's yeah. So I don't
Even
know,
some of
man. I'm not.
even the athletes. Justin Jefferson looked crazy. Justin Jefferson, I said Dwayne Wade. I seen
Yeah,
Russell Westbrook. I don't know if that was the picture from yesterday because they're in the playoffs. I'm like, there's no
yeah.
way
I
Russ.
don't think that was him. Yeah, no,
I
that
think
wasn't
it
him.
was the old one where he
Yeah,
had a full skirt on. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah. I mean, again, I don't. I saw something where ASAP Rocky was talking about he wears a lot of Rihanna's clothes. He was like, yeah, I wear Rihanna
Yeah,
clothes all the
shout out
time.
my boy ASAP because he was super fresh. He might have been the freshest one yesterday, but yeah, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
He said he wear Rihanna clothes all the time. I listen.
Too
I
pretty
don't.
for me. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
I'm a
yeah.
man. I don't want to look pretty. You feel
I'm a
me?
old I'm an old head when it comes to fashion, dude. You know what I'm saying? I don't knock what nobody do, but I'm just simply saying I'm not even a big conspiracy theorist. But when I see stuff like the Met Gala, that's when I be like, well, hold on. They talking about his rituals and all this, and I'm seeing people wearing like all the women were wearing, like a lot of the women were wearing pantsuits or like more masculine stuff, and the dudes seem to be a little bit more feminine leaning in terms of what they were wearing. And it's like, I don't know if that's a coincidence. You know what I'm saying? And it's like either the women had on very masculine outfits or they had body parts hanging out. Like Halle Berry was down there showing her whole coochie. You know what I'm saying? She had the whole thing out there. So I don't know. It's not. I ain't that level of famous. I hope I never get that level of famous. LeBron didn't go because he was injured, so he couldn't go to the Met. But Savannah pulled up.
Yeah. Shout out Doechii. I think Doechii was fly. She
wore like a pantsuit. She like a short.
With the Louis Vuitton, the double Louis Vuitton.
I did see Doechii. It was a lot going on.
And music news, I'm gonna just throw this out here. Everybody gotta go check out that Doechii and West Side Gun. She went crazy.
Okay.
Yeah. Real rap, Florida shit.
Oh shit. Okay. I gotta go check that out. I was just talking to my homie today about when I saw Luke at Kappa Beach Party. I was just tripping out. I was like, yeah, that was the first. Shout out to my nigga Luke. But all right, man, let's get up out of here, man. Luke then got a damn street named after him now down there.
Yeah, I saw that down south. Yeah.
Shout out to Luke. All right, we up out of here for the night, man. We be back Thursday. Hopefully we'll get an update on Steph Curry, where his health is. We'll know more about this game. It'll be game 2 of Warriors and Wolves. We'll see what happens as well with the Knicks. Are they gonna go up 2-0? Or are the Celtics gonna battle back? Also, the Thunder. Can they regain some type of composure? The Thunder series was crazy. Before we go, I gotta make sure I put this out there for you, because I don't think we even said this in the Thunder series. This one was crazy about the Thunder. Oh, I know we did say it with everybody having the double doubles. Yeah. That was insane. So we had 2 games yesterday. One where 3 guys had double doubles and he got out rebounded by 20, and another game in which a team shot 63 pointers and missed 45 of them. I don't think either of those teams, the team that missed 45 threes or the team that got out rebounded by 20, I don't think that happens anymore in the series. I think if I had to pick, I would say give me the Celtics in 6 and give me OKC in 6. I think that's where both of those series are going. We'll see what happens. In both of those series. I'm still sticking with the favorite.
Early prediction, I'm going to say Celtics in 6. I like that. I'm going to say Nuggets in 6. I'm going to go Nuggets in 6. I like where you went with Indiana. I'm going to go Indiana in 5. I didn't even realize they won both in Cleveland.
That's scary. They going to the crib.
That's scary. And Minnesota fighting back. But, hey, you was talking about Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield got 13 in this third quarter. So Buddy Hield is gunning.
This nigga Buddy Hield did some type of voodoo or something. I don't know what he got. This nigga's channeling some different shit.
So let's see what this series early prediction. I'm gonna go Minnesota in 6.
Yeah, I think Minnesota comes back tonight to win. They're down 13 right now, but they were down 20 a bit ago. So I think Minnesota comes back to win this game. And depending on Steph's health, obviously if Steph's not healthy, I gotta take Minnesota. I was taking Minnesota before, but if Steph's not healthy, it just sucks. Yeah, and
so if Steph not healthy, we can all give him a pass. Come on, man.
Yeah, that sucks. Because look, because in the first round, LeBron had a knee injury, so we understand. All right, we out of here, man. Y'all tap in with us on Thursday. We got to get ready for the NFL as well, man. We got the NFL season. Oh, I got a clip I want to play you also, Ross, because there was a lot of controversy about. I played this on Thursday about a quarterback that committed to Nebraska. He did the little hat thing between Illinois and Nebraska. He ended up picking Nebraska. And a lot of people, specifically, I'm gonna give some smoke to Coach JB from Last Chance U. He had a lot to say about that young man who did the little hat situation. So we'll get into that on Thursday, and we'll tap in with y'all, man. Y'all make sure y'all keep it locked right here. Hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up. We out of here, man. We'll see.